Hello, my name is Dr. WACK, and studies have shown that 6 out of 9 Overwatch players suffer from I'm a healer main and I can't climb because my team is too incompetent to get kills or protect me, so I'm constantly dropping an SR. Please just freaking protect me. Is it that hard to protect your healer? If your healer dies, then you're not going to be able to survive. Syndrome. Or shorter known as, like for real though, is it so hard to get the tracer that's on my nuts in the back? You probably wear Crocs to bed, that's why you're too scared to protect your healer. Okay, we get it. Can you move on though? Okay, first of all, my boy, that was really rude. Second of all, your Yeezy's looking really fake today. And third of all, I'm getting there. Just hold on. Man, you didn't need to bring up my fake Yeezys. They told me nobody would notice. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say. Many people suffer from this syndrome, but you are not alone. There is a cure that can help fight this problem. In this video, I will show you how to solve it. First thing you have to do, hit the subscribe button. Second thing you gotta do... Hey, wait a sec. Wait, no. Hey, you a fake doctor. Where'd you get your doctor diploma at? In the alleyway when the Torbjorn was right there? Hey, no. He's a fake doctor, y'all. I, Dr. WACK, is not legally a doctor. I just want to scrub, so I thought it'd be fun just to play doctor. Please don't hurt me. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye. Hey, yo, come back. Hey, you wearing fake Yeezys too? Hold on a second. So even though I had fun with that little intro, I still wanted to talk about healers and just them playing solo queue and dropping SR, because I do get a lot of comments how people are a healer main, they always play Mercy, Ana, Lucio, whoever it could be, and they just cannot climb. They're always getting incompetent teammates, they're not getting protected, the team is not getting kills, and they just continue to lose. Drop 200 SR, 300 SR, and I did want to talk about it and just relieve the anxiety, because we've all been there before. We don't even need to be a healer main to know that we've played a Mercy, we played it Ana before, but we just had the worst teammates of all time, but we're still doing our job, we're still healing them, but they just continue to just run out forward. The Rhine just charges, the soldier gets in front of the Rhine shield, just dies, and just cannot do their job as terms of getting kills, and it's very frustrating. And then you're just sitting there wondering, okay, well, if my team's not going to be doing their job as terms of getting kills, I might as well switch off a healer to try to compensate for it to a more offensive hero. And then you switch, and then your team gets mad at you saying, why'd you switch off the healer? We need a healer. And then you get frustrated, it's like, because you're not getting the freaking kills, and then you're just yelling back and forth, you lose the freaking game, you throw your Xbox, your PC out the window, you burn your house. Okay, maybe not that far, but you get what I'm trying to say, you get my point. The point that I'm trying to make here is that being a healer, especially a solo queue healer main, can be a double-edged sword, because if you're doing your job, if you're giving the team a bunch of heals, but your team isn't doing their job, i.e. getting kills, i.e. protecting you, then your job is kind of irrelevant at that point, and you still lose the game. Then again, if you want to play a more offensive hero, if you're a healer man but you want to play a soldier 76, you get yelled at because, hey, we need a freaking healer, why are you switching off healers? And then you're just getting yelled at, and then you're gonna probably lose the game because you don't have a healer. So it's a tough life as a healer main. I totally get it. We all understand, we've all been there before, and that's why I want to make this video, because it sucks, right? It really does suck how we have to play a healer, and sometimes the team isn't competent enough to get kills. And I'm not trying to put the blame game, I'm not wanting you guys to adopt the mentality, especially if you're a healer, to blame your teammates. I'm not trying to say that, but it's just one of those things like you just have to try to work with and just try to grow yourself as a healer, because it always just goes back to the analogy I always make with healers. If the soldier 76 isn't getting headshots and kills, if the Roadhog isn't getting hooks and getting kills, if the Reinhardt isn't protecting the team with his barrier and is just constantly dying, then at that point you're just healing potatoes. At that point your job is just negated and irrelevant at that point, because the other guys on your team aren't doing their jobs. I mean, just look at any single Overwatch Pro team. Sure, they do have a lot of skill, they have phenomenal skills, but they're just a working machine. They're working together and everybody is doing their job. A certain player is going to fill some certain role and everybody feeds off of each other. The offensive heroes, the offensive players get help from the support heroes, from the healers, because if the offensive heroes were these god heroes but they didn't have a good offensive back to heal them, then their job is negated too. Same thing with the healers on that team. If the offensive heroes, the offensive players weren't doing their job, getting a bunch of kills, then their job is negated and just irrelevant. It's just a cause and effect working machine. So how does this relate back to you, you healer mains, you solo queue healers? Are you gonna just completely stop playing, or are you just try to improve yourself as a player? Well, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Being a healer main, or just playing a healer in general, probably has the least amount of variables to it to try to get you closer to that W, but that variable is the biggest variable variable in the game to get you to that W. So in a sense, let's just say this. Say you're playing Ana and there's a Genji on your team. Now let's say this Genji is a god Genji. Like he's a pro Genji. He's gonna utilize your heals, right? He's gonna utilize every single thing that you give him. If you give the enemy team anti-heals, and if you give him just constant heals, he's gonna be able to do his job. Your healing is just gonna be glorified at that point, because he's gonna get in the back line. He's gonna be able to take out their healers, just take out their squishies, and just be able just to steamroll them, all because he was able to fulfill his job and utilize your job also. Now let's give you a different scenario. Same thing, you're playing Ana again, and if they're playing, like, say, McCree, if McCree is not taking care of the Pharah in the sky, if McCree is not getting the Tracer in the back, not doing his job, then at that point, he's not doing his job. In a sense, your job is kind of negated also because of him. The variable in every single equation in this sense is the offensive hero. Now again, I'm not trying to have you adopt this blame mentality, like, oh my god, McCree, why aren't you getting the kills? Oh my god. Because you just should always try to improve yourself as a player and not try to blame other people. But in a sense, again, it's just logically thinking. If you're giving the heals but they're not utilizing it, then in a sense that might be the reason why you're not climbing, because you're still doing your job but they're not doing their job. I know that might have been hard to follow, but here's what I'm trying to say. Healers depend on the other guys to do their job. Depends on the McCree to get the kills. Depends on the Roadhog to get the hooks. Because at that point, then your job is utilized. Your job is worth something. And just literally look at any single pro team. It's a working machine. Everybody's feeding off everybody and just working together. I always picture an Overwatch pro team kind of like a chair, and the legs of the chair are the healers, because without the healers, at that point, the offensive heroes cannot just sustain themselves, and then the whole chair just totally breaks and is just useless, and then you just fall on your butt, in a sense. That was a terrible metaphor, but it kind of made sense in my head. Sometimes things don't make sense in my head, but hopefully that did. But to all you healers out there that can't climb, that still want to main a healer, I will appreciate you. And sometimes you just have to wait for those players that will appreciate you to utilize your heals, but sometimes, especially when you're solo queuing, it's a dice roll, and I still get that too. Even when I play an offensive hero like Soldier 76, or I play Mei, or anybody like that, it's kind of like a dice roll with those heals, because hey, maybe the Ana doesn't have good aim, or maybe the Mercy is just wanting to pocket the Pharah and not want to heal everybody else. So it's just stuff like that, like, especially when you're playing solo queue, it's a dice roll at that point. But in a sense, on paper, you're supposed to get players around your same skill level. Not always the case, we all know that. But to all you healers out there, don't quit healing. Just don't quit being a healer main, because we all appreciate you. We really do. I know the Genji may not. He may always spam I need healing. I mean, I in a sense still do that also, even when I'm playing players like Roadhog and Soldier 76. But sometimes you just have to appreciate the people that still utilize your healing, because it's just a working machine. Everybody feeds off everybody when they're playing in Overwatch, especially in competitive, and you just have to work together to try to get that W. So what can you do? Just try to be a better healer. Just try to practice and just continue to try to maybe learn every single healer, because we all need a healer. And if you can literally master every single hero in the game, then you would just be utilized, especially at the higher levels. Because when you get in like Diamond Masters and Grandmasters, people in a sense know how to play their hero. I know some people will complain, it's like, nah, that's not the case, but quote unquote on paper, they've been playing the game and they understand how to use their heroes. Also, one other thing for you healers out there, especially if you're playing Ana and Zenyatta, not really the case with Mercy and Lucio, because they're more with the team, maybe Mercy still in a sense, but especially if you're playing Ana or Zenyatta, try to play more in the back. I know that might just be plain obvious because you don't want to be at the front lines, but if you're playing more in the back, that way you can try to stay away from the front lines. But also, the more important tip that comes along with this is that if you're gonna be in the back, go in a game chat and give out callouts, because in a sense, if you're in the back, you can see everything that's around you. You can see something that's on the left side, on the right side, or that's behind the offensive line, because maybe the Reinhardt can't see everything that's behind them, and if you're chilling out in the back, you're able to say, hey, there's a Roadhog on the left side, try not to get a surprise hook attack, or hey, maybe there's a Tracer on the right side. It's just stuff like that that can just lead to a better working machine, and that's what you're trying to get here, is just a working machine. In a sense, that can lead to you being an IGL. If you guys don't know what an IGL is, pretty much it's an in-game leader. Every single pro team has one. I don't know who would fill it in the role category, but I'm picturing healers would, because their only job really is to be giving the healers to the team. Maybe Ana is a little different story because they can snipe, but in a sense, they can see everything that's around them. They can see what's on the right side, on the left side, and just give a bunch of callouts. So just a little tip for you guys that maybe wants to be an IGL or just want to get you closer to that W, because information can win you games. And if you guys don't know that there's a Roadhog on the left side and only you can see it and you're not in game chats, well, maybe the McCree's gonna get a surprise hook and just die right there. In a sense, that's gonna be your fault because you saw it, but you weren't giving out that call out to be able to give everyone awareness of that Roadhog on the left side. So again, just a short little video just to negate the anxiety that comes with the healer mains and the people that cannot climb. Hopefully this video did help. Share this video with anybody that wants to be a healer main that cannot climb, because in a sense it can suck, but it still can work. You can still climb as a healer. You just have to have hope, and that's my final tip that I'll give you, is just have hope and just continue just to improve yourself as players. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.